Alright everyone, today I thought I would do a video on sweet potatoes, simply the best carb source there is. You're gonna have the best workouts that you've ever had when you try this before your workout. It's one of the things that I wish was taught to me when I started lifting, when I got into fitness. Like the first thing that came to mind when I first tried this, like during my first workout when I tried sweet potato, I felt like I was a Ferrari, literally. Like, you might not like cars, you might even not even like Ferraris, but that's the first word that came to mind is I felt like a Ferrari. Like I was just zipping around everywhere, and I almost felt bad for everyone else in the gym who was not utilizing this energy source. Um, 20 pounds felt like 10 pounds. Everything feels lighter. Your body feels lighter. Your stomach's not going to do any weird shit, digesting it. It's a good, sweet potato is a good fiber source. And the scientific reason why it's such a good carb is something called the glycemic index. And long story short, basically it's a more healthy, sustained energy release through your system. If you eat sugar or more of a processed carb, your energy's going to crash. Maybe even in the middle of your workout, and even before your energy crashes, your energy is not going to be the best. So give this a shot. I'm going to show you guys how I cook it, how I prepare it. I'm going to eat it for my back workout today. And, I'll let you guys know some of the nutrition facts and everything about why I do it. But yeah, so here I'll show you how I cook it. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set the oven temperature for 375. You could probably get away with 380, 385. I do 375 usually. You can do around this range. Doesn't matter, it's the same shit. And you're going to wait for it to get to that temperature. You don't need to, but for consistent cooking and timing, it's best to wait for it to reach its temperature. All right, everyone. The next step is going to be while the oven's heating up, we're going to peel these potatoes. So, all right, next step, now that they're peeled, knife. Usually I chop the ends off because they're ugly as hell. Then what you're going to do is you chop these little slices like this. Like so. All right, the next step, now that we got the sweet potatoes cut up into pieces, we're gonna take a little bit of butter with a knife and put it on each piece and lay them out here on the pan. And I'll show you in a second. All right, so I just put a little bit of butter like that. Goes on the pan. Butter like that. Goes on the pan. Butter like that. Goes on the pan. Goes on the pan. And you do this until you're done. I don't know if I'm gonna get the full pan filled. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's nice to cook as much as possible in one sitting so that you can have some stored for later. I mean, ideally, Sometimes I cut these in half if they get too big. Ideally, you know, you cook as many in one batch as possible so that you don't have to cook every day. You know, you can cook enough for, you know, half a week. Put it in your fridge and microwave it when you're ready to work out. So I think you guys got pretty much the gist of it here. Alright, now that you got them all laid out like this, see how they're all buttered up? Alright, now ground cinnamon. This is the funnest part. This is what makes the house smell so good. I never get any complaints in the house from how this smells. And you probably won't either. Still not used to the multitasking of holding a camera and but yeah, it's about as much as it takes. Then 375. Timer. Like old school. I do 35 minutes. Alright. 35 minutes later, took them out of the oven. That's what they look like. So, what we got here is I'm going to decide how much I want for my pre-workout meal today and store the rest of them. But as you can see, they come off pretty easily, smell pretty good, and we're going to go over in later videos more specifically how you know exactly how much you should be eating in your meal. Obviously, it depends on how much energy you'll be exerting and the size of your body. But for the most part, that's sweet potato. Smells really good, really mushy, pretty hot. I don't really want to be carrying them around right now, but just to give you an idea, you know, they mush up. Really easy to eat, super good energy. Give it a try and let me know what you think in the comment section.